Hello everyone, Arcadenaut here, and today I'm here with Digimon Survive, the darkest, the most ruthless and maybe the most sluggish Digimon game ever made. I've been hyped for this game for so long, kept an eye for any gameplay video, article whatsoever, and after finishing the game, I kinda feel heartbroken with it. It could have been much more, yet ended up as a hard pill to swallow. It could have been a game that everyone would enjoy, but turned out to be an experience which some people will love and some people will hate, and I understand the both sides. First things first, Digimon Survive is not an ordinary Digimon experience. It is mostly a mix of Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor 2 and Danganronpa with tactical RPG elements, moral choices that influence the outcome but mostly the endings, blended with visual novel game aspects. I love tactical RPGs like Devil Survivor 2, Fire Emblem, and of course Final Fantasy Tactics, so there's no problem with it. I'm not a very visual novel type of a guy, but when compared to other VNs, Digimon Survive still feels lacking and sluggish. With its drawn sprites, Digimon Survive has also an unorthodox game design within, but the problem is not the gameplay, nor visual novel elements, nor its visuals itself. The problem about Digimon Survive is all of its aspects feel quite shallow and unsatisfying for me, even for a long Digimon series fan such as I am. I will get to all of these things, but first things first, let's get what Digimon Survive is. Its story is somewhat quite similar to first season of Digimon, where a group of students ends up in a mysterious island and then tries to survive, trying to find a way out while developing friendship and trust with each other and also with their own Digimons, or say monsters. I found it quite courageous as an approach. You literally never heard the word of Digimon within the game. Digimons that we know are known as Kemono as a myth, translated as a beast or monster, and people of that region used to sacrifice children to satisfy the Kemonogami, the beast god. Our cast is out for a school camping trip, ends up in a forgotten shrine, attacked by a group of Kemono, and then ends up in a mysterious world full of monsters that want to sacrifice them, or worse, devour them. Digimon Survive is literally a dark version of the first Digimon season, where the characters, your friends, can die painfully, full of blood and gore, leaving you traumatized, and this is quite unique and a courageous approach for Digimon series, I think. It is not a chill journey like Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth, but full of despair, friendship and character development.
なんだお前、できもしないことを言うな。お前がもっと立派に戦っ、お前が進化できないから。そうだ、敵、僕を見下すやみんなもどう。僕、なんでだ。
From the start, whole story sequences are handled as visual novels with choices that can increase your affinity with your friends or determine your personality. There are 3 personality choices that can lead you to 3 different endings that can be chosen by the end of chapter 8. Red is for moral, yellow is for wrathful, and green is for harmony. These personality choices not just affect the ending that you can unlock, but also influences your partner Agumon's evolutions. For champion level, let's say moral makes Greymon, wrathful makes Tuskmon, and harmony makes Tyrannomon, and depending on the lead personality, the ultimate evolution and also mega changes. These choices do not have any effect on character affinities nor how the story goes, so you can just plan to level up one choice of personality however you want to. Because even though this game has choices and tells you that you can shape its story, there are some events that you cannot prevent by your first run. Heads will roll and these kids will go through hell with their partner Digimon. But since you're playing a JRPG visual novel, you expect your choices to affect the game, right? So how about a big no? There are scripted events that lead to the death of some characters by the first run. Lots of people are annoyed with this and there's nothing to prevent that. No matter what you do, how much affinity you have, 2 characters will die as a scripted scene and can only be saved by New Game Plus. And guess what? I have no motivation nor any patience to reach the true ending by the New Game Plus. I might give it a try later on, but around the last chapters, I just wanted Digimon Survive to end. Combat and whole VN sequences lost all of its charm for me. As I mentioned before, Digimon Survive has a tactical JRPG gameplay approach, just like Devil Survivor 2, Fire Emblem and Final Fantasy Tactics. You can either dispatch the main cast Digimons to the battle, place them upon the battlefield depending on their movement capability, evolve them, and then try to destroy the enemy, or just talk with them and make them either join you or give an item to win. I love this tactical JRPG approach. Normally, they let you grind as much as you want, customize your characters to try new builds and build your own team, but I can't say the same for Digimon Survive sadly. There's no character customization that feels unique, grinding and whole battle sequences feel sluggish, and whole talk negotiation system just feels lazy. Starting with customization, you can only place 2 different accessories to your Digimons to increase their attributes, grant them a new ability or a defense ability, and you know what, that's it. That's all. There is no Digimon fusion, no cross Digimon skills whatsoever. Just level up your Digimons, give them an item if you care, and that's it. Depending on your affinity with the side characters, their Digimons can also evolve. If you never socialize with them, they are stuck with their champion evolution for the rest of the run, so my advice will be say before each dialogue that can raise their affinity to not miss any chances. Each main Digimon start their fight as rookie level, and depending on your choice, they can evolve to their unlocked level of evolution and then continue to battle. Each level of evolution consumes a specific SP each round, namely Champion 5, Ultimate 10 and Mega 15, so players need to choose if they want to play aggressively or if they want to save some SP for later on. If their SP is depleted, they go back to their rookie level and start saving up some SP by each round, if they can stay alive of course. Other than the main cast, as I mentioned before, you can also recruit Digimons through talking, just like by Shin Megami Tensei series. Each question and answer to these questions can be found online, so there is no need for trial and error, I believe, to not waste any precious time. Because even if you nail a talking sequence with a Digimon, depending on your main character's personality, the percentage of them joining you changes. And another weird aspect to that, there are 6 boxes during these talk sequences, and depending on your answer to 3 questions, these boxes fill up by 1 or 2 or decrease by 1 and 2. Even if you give 2 points answer 3 times, they might still have like a 13% of chance to join you, depending on your personality, which is another weird and a bad choice in my opinion. On the other hand, these free battle Digimons do not evolve by level or affinity, but by consuming a specific item that are really hard to find. I wasted so much time to make my rookie Digimons the champion, but only could find a handful of these items. And guess what? Later by the game, champion versions of these Digimons that I wanted to evolve started to appear by the free battles, making all my efforts go in vain. This whole evolve aspect could have been much more detailed and motivating for players to commit themselves, but Digimon Survive took a lazy route by this whole mechanic. And as a side note, there are only around 113 Digimons within game, from rookie to mega evolutions counted all together of course. And just by this evolution, discovering new Digimons aspect, Cyber Sleuth did a way better job than Digimon Survive, I believe. And this whole 2D hand-drawn kind of sprites are not bad at all. On the contrary, it has a different charm that we have never seen by Digimon games before. Although Digimon designs and visuals are quite charming, the maps felt insanely lazy and similar, which also made the battles quite boring after a while. My advice, if you ever feel this kind of bored, just turn on the auto battle function and do other stuff. I respect the courage that Digimon Survive has, making whole Digimon Survive dark in a way that we have never seen before. It is indeed admirable. There is no problem making the whole storytelling through VN aspects, but as I mentioned before, it feels quite shallow and sometimes even lazy. Digimon Survive could have offered more discoverable Digimons, free discovery or at least movement within the map, Digimon fusion mechanics or more detailed customization aspects, but all it has is simplified tactical JRPG elements with basic VN gameplay that falls insanely short when compared to other VNs. It just turned out to be an obscure game that some Digimon fans will love and some Digimon fans will hate, maybe similar to Digimon World in some sense. Although the developers are influenced by Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor 2, it feels completely inferior when they are both compared with each other, as Devil Survivor 2 had faster VN segments that never waste your time, more interesting demon negotiation dialogues, demon customization and also fusion that motivates you to level up and do trials and error stuff, and much more. And you know what, maybe I should do a video about Devil Survivor 2 and show you guys how much potential that Digimon Survive had actually. Yeah, maybe I should do.
たくまってば
あ
たくまよかった起きた
あぐ